Hi, hi. Good to
Hello.
see
Hi,
you.
Kevin. Hi, Tony. We did this last time in person. I'm missing you guys.
Oh, did we do it? Did we do this in Milan, in Italy? Were you
And
there?
I think we did this in New York once.
In New York,
Oh,
yeah.
you are.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well, I'm in New
Anyway, so
York.
I'm missing the buzz completely. Are you guys missing, the physical interviews, but gotten used to this, Tony?
Tony
I-
prefers being left alone and working out of his home.
What about you, Kevin?
I love just being out, even if it's just in a Zoom world. The
Right.
feeling of yeah. Listen, we're thrilled that you and anyone else wants to talk to us about this show. So it's difficult to fall back on. Woe is
Right.
me. Yeah.
In fact, I'm far away in India, and this is a very popular show here. People are waiting for this season. Tony, you can go first. People have enjoyed your character over the years. How has he changed? What is the big change that you see in season 4?
Well, as we see it at the end of season 3, Abe is kind of going through a bit of a midlife shift, or I don't know if I would call it a crisis, but he's starting to let go of his former job, his former self. He's kind of getting back in touch with the person he was before, kind of getting boxed into his role as a math professor, as a dad. He's going through a big shift, and I think whether he knows it or not, realizes it or not, that shift, I think, was kind of initiated by the shift that occurred in his daughter's life, in Midge's life.
Right.
Her marriage disintegrating and her going off on this new track, and there was a ripple effect, and it caused all of these characters to kind of reassess where they are and who they are, and how these relationships are evolving.
Right. And Kevin, from season 1 to now, how have you seen your character evolve? What are the big changes?
Yeah, so I honestly and truly look forward each season to where the hell we're going next. Amy and Dan, created this world that was very small.
Right.
Ever since the first season, it just keeps expanding and opening up and pushing everyone forward. And it's a great joy to be surprised by that element. So while Moish is, very myopic and single-minded in his effort to unnerve everyone and upset their happiness, there's a great sense of family and love at all times, which is
Right.
pretty.
Tony, how is your character's relationship with Midge? What's new in this season when it comes to this relationship?
Yeah, I think we're starting to see, and again, I'm going back to toward the end of season 3, and then it plays out a lot in
Right.
season 4. I think we're starting to see that Abe is finally sort of letting go of his need to be controlling and be that sort of the patriarch who gets to always have things his way and have I think he's just letting go, and he's realizing that even though he was it's not that he was a bad father, but that at a certain point a parent has to kind of relinquish this idea that their children are who and what they want them to be, or who and what he who and what they Abe thought she was. He has to come to terms with that and to let things play out. And I think it ultimately it brings them closer in a way. Is he ever going to be like her number one fan? Probably not, but he's going to stop trying to, remold or mold her into what his vision is. I think that's important, for the character, for the, as a parent, as a, he turns that, his work, he turns it sort of back on himself. What about reassesses his own life? I think that's healthy.
Right. Kevin, what about, your relationship with Joel's character, with Joel? What's the big change that you see this time?
Well, in the previous seasons, the passing of the torch of running the business, the passing of monetary sustainability to begin his next phase of his life and get out of the business. Those are really big moments. So I think Moish forever wants to teach Joel about business and the world as it works, but also wants to see how he goes on his own. For example, I would ask him, if I figure out how to work in this expensive watch, can I write it off? If I keep it in the frame, you can see the watch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I should be able to write that off. Yeah, so that is the type of thing that Moish would want to impart on his son. Yeah, he's a blowhard, so he never stops talking and thinking people want desperately to hear what he has to say. But Amy and Dan have done a really nice job of mixing the comedy and the pathos of Moish and Joel's relationship.
Right. Tony, there can only be a season 4 and 3 and 4 only because there is an audience and audience have loved it. At the heart of it, what do you think has connected so well that we are here talking in season 4?
Oh boy, there's so much about this show. I think it's a bright, colorful, fast moving. I think that's one of the things that people really respond to. That kind of energy and that kind of lightness and brightness is I just think it's needed right now. There is a certain element of escapism to it, certainly, but there's also that element of resonance and relatability. I kind of look at this show as I think many people do, sort of it's like a musical or something. Don't you find that, Kevin, that it has that kind of breadth and that kind of energy and that it's sort of I feel like it's just unlike anything else that's out there.
Yeah, and by all of that, Tony means a great story that, from a woman's perspective, moving forward and evolving and enjoying life on her own terms. I mean, that is more relatable, I think, now more than ever across the globe. And of course, the musical aspect Tony speaks of, the choreography, the pace of the dialogue, all of it is so mesmerizing and compelling in a way, for better or worse, unlike everything else on TV.
Great, and I couldn't agree more. And I'm so glad you both are a part. We get to see your performances. Thank you for entertaining us.
Thank you.